My brothers and sisters, today is the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. It is a day on which we remember the great sacrifice of Christ on the cross, that death which freed us from slavery to sin and death. And Christ's sacrifice on the cross would seem almost a contradiction in terms. God, the immortal one, the author of life, taking on our flesh in order to undergo death. And in a way it is a contradiction, but that's precisely the point. On the cross, life and death meet each other in very stark terms. Two contradictory forces encounter each other in the same place and at the same time. And now we all know that something and its opposite cannot both be true in the same respect in the same time and place. And so when the incarnate Son of God dies on the cross, He sets up an existential contradiction. Death is made to swallow up life itself. But this arrangement cannot endure. One of them must be revealed as false. And in that moment, death is driven away and revealed as nothing, just as light drives out darkness or warmth drives out cold. When possessed by divinity, there is only life. And so the flesh of Jesus Christ, our own mortal nature, born by the eternal Son of God, passes through death and is raised to life again. This contradiction, resolved in favor of life, is a great comfort to us in difficult times such as these. It tells us that death and evil and darkness can and will be washed away by life and goodness and light. It tells us, furthermore, that even the moment in which we experience these difficult and frightening things can be a moment of grace and of encounter with the light that drives out all fear. And this is why Jesus' death on the cross could be prefigured, like in our first reading today, by a poisonous serpent on a pole. Because even the very thing that torments us can be made an instrument of our salvation, whether a snake for the Israelites, death for humanity as a whole, or even the coronavirus in our times. The cross of Christ frees us from the fear of suffering and death, for it reveals those things to be empty and shows us that the light of God shines through the darkness. The cross, in all its horror, became the uniquely privileged place of encounter between humanity and the mercy of God. And so may our sufferings in this time and in every time also be places to encounter the love of God.